Hey there friends, what's going on? It's Kodiak here, and today I want to talk about the best way to survive your first 24 hours in Grounded. There are so many things you need to learn, see, do in this game, but these are a good baseline for starting out. It all comes back to it's a new survival game. When you first start up, you are going to be overwhelmed with sights and enemies and crafting, and it's just a lot. So hopefully these tips will help you guys. They're not going to be anything earth-shattering, but they are going to put you on the right path to surviving in the game. So let's kick it off. So the first thing I want to point out is major landmarks. One of the most important major landmarks in the game is the juice box. There are multiple juice boxes around the backyard, and these juice boxes obviously drop juice, and that juice is going to restore your thirst and your hunger. This is essential because you don't have to roast aphids or weevils, anything like that. You just have to pop over to a juice box, grab some of the juice, and you're good to go. It actually restores a decent amount of both thirst and hunger, which makes it fantastic. You can pick up the juice in a canteen, so if you're at the point where you can build a canteen, and I highly recommend you try and figure that out sooner rather than later, you can store the juice. I believe you can store 2 charges in the canteen, and that's going to provide you with sustenance and pretty much get you through one whole day. Now this next tip is absolutely essential. I cannot stress it enough. If you want to survive in Grounded, you have to build up. Build on some sort of elevated platform, specifically like a log or a tree stump or something like that. Anywhere that you can get above the normal base ground is going to be beneficial for you. There are foundations, there are scaffolding that you can use to build up, and that is going to be essential for getting away from enemies. Building on the ground is fine, but you're most likely only going to be building like grass walls, and that is not going to stop anything. Anything that aggroes you is just going to tear through your entire base. But if you're building up, most things can't get to you. In fact, 99% of the stuff in the game, depending on where you build, is going to be stuck on the ground. We had spiders all around us in our first playthrough. There was nothing that they could do because we were building up. So it's a great tip, guys. Build up. Doesn't matter exactly where you build, as long as you're elevated and away from the base level ground, you're going to be just fine. Alright guys, this next one, by popular demand, where to find grubs in this game. Grubs are these elusive creatures. There's an entire set of armor around them. There's craftables that you need grub stuff for. How do you get them? Well, first you're going to need a shovel. You can get the acorn shovel. Acorns are around the big oak tree. You're going to have to go that way for the story quest anyways. So go over to the big oak tree, get a bunch of acorns. You're going to need a hammer to break the acorns, and then trying to find grubs is a pain. You're going to see actually almost like a worm under the ground. You'll see kind of like the ground moving, and it's pretty obvious what it looks like. It kind of bubbles up around the surface, and it's going to move. Follow the movement, dig at the end point with your shovel, and out will pop a grub. Switch to an axe or a spear or whatever, kill the grub, and you will be able to get its flesh, all those parts that you need to make the items, to analyze it, and there you go, you have found yourself a grub. Alright, so this next one is about grubs again. Build yourself a canteen. I said it before earlier in the video, get yourself a canteen, fill that bad boy up with juice. You are going to be set for 24 hours, an entire day-night cycle. If you just fill a canteen with juice, it is all you need to pretty much avoid the hunger and thirst mechanic in the game on the medium or basic difficulty, possibly on the low difficulty, but you may have to make 2 stops with the canteen. Highly recommend getting the canteen as soon as possible. It's easy to craft, especially now that you know how to get grubs. So there you go, build yourself a canteen, get some juice, and never get thirsty or hungry while you're out there in the backyard. Alright, this next one seems really silly because it's part of the tutorial, but it's still really important, and you got to build yourself a lean-to and set your spawn point. If you run across a spider at a random point in the game and you die and your spawn point is not set or not set to your current base, you are going to be really pissed because you have to run back and get your backpack when you die. So setting your spawn point is really important. You want to make sure that you're back at your base where you can build any new weapons you may need or armor, anything like that. Get any, new food or bandages, anything that you need. If you're not setting your spawn point at the right place, you are going to be missing out and you're going to have a really hard time getting back to your body. One other important thing about the lean-to, you can skip the nighttime cycle starting at 8 p.m. or 20 p.m. in military time, and that's going to go until 6 a.m. when the sun starts to come up. So you can skip the nighttime cycle. You don't need to really enjoy the night. If you don't like it, just skip it. That's how I do it. There's nothing at night that really matters more. You're going to get a lot of spiders at night. It's kind of freaky at night, so if you're easily startled like I am, just skip the night, go to 6 a.m. and start your next day. So this next one's not really a tip, it's more of just kind of my advice. There is not a ton of story content in this game. Now the story content is important. It's actually going to end at a really important part. You're gonna have access to something new. I'm not gonna spoil anything here, but you really don't need to do the story content ASAP. Livid and myself, we rushed the story content. It was not a smart thing to do because now we're super frustrated that the story content is over, at least for now. Quick reminder, this is early access, more story content is coming. Nothing against Obsidian, but it is wildly short. You get something cool for finishing it, you get access to something, but there's so much to see and do in the backyard, and I highly suggest you take the time, take inventory of all the different locations in the backyard, because there are different resources in each area. So if you want to build near acorns, you want to be near the oak tree. If you want to be around dandelions, you want to be near the sprinkler section. If you want to be in another place by the flowers, things like that. There's so many different locations that you could explore, and I really suggest before you set down roots, before you really come up with a solid base, that you explore the entire backyard. The backyard's not actually that big. It may seem big when you're so little, but to get across it doesn't take that long. So take your time, explore all the different mini biomes within the backyard, then figure out where you want to set down roots. Finally, guys, you need to make yourself a bow and arrow. This is one of the essential tools of the backyard, and this is going to save your life 9 times out of 10. You're going to be able to take on opponents from far away, including the stink bugs, the bombardier beetles, and of course, spiders. So you're going to need 3 things. You're going to need gnat fuzz, you're going to need mite fuzz, and you're going to need thistles. You're going to get all 3 of those things in different locations. The gnats you'll find near stagnant water. They're flying. They're usually like 2 or 3 characters above you. Once you engage one of them, more will join the party, so they're pretty easy to take down. Mites are all over the place. You're going to find them in the mite tunnels underneath those scientific telescope things. You'll also find them around the backyard near logs, things like that. You're going to kill as many as you can because you're going to need a ton of mite fuzz. And then finally, guys, you have the thistle bush. This is what the thistle looks like. Go up to the stem, start whacking it with your axe. You're going to pick up a ton of barbs. You can just keep whacking it. You're going to need a lot to make arrows. This is one of the essential tools of the backyard, so get yourself a bow and arrow. And there you have it, guys, our day 1 tips for Grounded. If you have any advice for fellow players still starting out, still struggling with Grounded, leave them in the comment section below. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you want more Grounded content in your feed. And as always, folks, join us on Discord, 5,000 members on the Legion Gaming Discord. And of course, we'd love to have a few more friends around. That link is also below. And for now, guys, my name is Kodiak, and from everyone here at Legion Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.